Good morning, America! The champ is back! The champ is back! You know the slogan. Start your day with Christ. Start your day right. Don't end up circling a box like a dummy. We got a whole lot of boxing to talk about. But the first thing I must say is I am officially a Ryan Garcia fan. I might call him White Boy from the Hills. I might continue to call him White Boy from the Hills. But I am an official Ryan Garcia fan because Ryan Garcia is on the right path of Jesus Christ. And if he leaves that path, we might call him White Boy from the Hills again. But until then, we might still call him White Boy from the Hills, but in Christ. He's a white boy from the hills in Christ, and that makes it all right. So we got to talk about Ryan Garcia. We got to talk about bitch-ass Tyson Fury being an apostate like the Pope. We're not having none of this in the middle. We're not having none of this coexistence. We're not having none of this fabrications. You know your boy. I know all about my Islam, nigga. You're not getting over on me. No, 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 no. Islam is a contradiction of Christianity. It was created and fabricated. It is a total scam and a lie. They deny the only begotten Son, the truth, the way, and the life. They say that Moses was a Muslim. Moses was not a Muslim, stupid niggas. Noah's son did not drown. They say that Noah and his son were Muslims. These niggas are ridiculous, and they're violent, and they're a total scam. You see, I know all about my Islam, and I know it's not just another religion. It is a total contradiction. We're not having none of that. We're not having none of this crazy, crazy, evil garbage. We're not having none of this satanic pagan garbage. We're not having none of this coexistence. We're not having none of this. It's the religion of peace. We're not having none of this. The Pope visiting masjids. We're not having none of this Tyson Fury walking out to a Palestinian song. We're not having none of this garbage. We're not having none of it. None of it, Mackie. No, 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 Mackie. We're not having none of that. You see, only Christians and Muslims colonize. We just do it better. They don't tell you why the Crusades began. The Crusades began to push these sand niggas out of Portugal and Spain. And in the name of Jesus Christ, in 1492, the same year they kicked them all out of Spain, Portugal, and Italy, and recovered Europe after 800 years. They were in Spain and Portugal, pillaging, enslaving over 40 million Africans and whites. You see, they don't tell you that part of history, but that is the truth. After 800 years, they kicked out all these momos, and the same year they kicked them out and they ended their total invasion of Portugal, Spain, and Italy. The same year, 1492, in the name of Jesus Christ, they found America. They weren't even looking for America. They were looking for a route to India. But the winds of change pushed the ships over. And that's why the map looks like that now. That's why the map looks like that now. That's why the map looks like that now. But they don't tell you that part in history class. They don't tell you that part. They don't tell you that part. They tell, oh, they were colonizers, conquistadors, and crusaders. Damn motherfucking right. And if it's not for those men in those 3 ships that came to America in the name of Jesus Christ. If it's not for them, the whole world would be Islamified. You would be circling a fucking box right now. Because you see, Islam is communism. No freedom of speech, no freedom of press, no freedom at all. And if you want to leave, they decapitate you. That's why they have apostasy laws. Which mean, if you decide that you don't want to believe this fucking lie of Islam anymore, they decapitate you and kill you. It's in the Quran. Go read it. If you dare to say that Momo was a pedo, they decapitate you. Because Islam cannot survive without fear and intimidation. Islam is the total opposite of freedom. We'll get back to Ryan Garcia and bitch-ass Tyson Fury in a minute. We also gotta talk about Anthony Joshua getting dropped. That strawberry chin is washed. But you know I need my music. Hold on. Got a whole lot of boxing to talk about, but first we gotta talk about the importance of your education. Get yourself educated, you stupid dummies. Do not ever believe anything by the left siding with Islam. There is no coexistence. We have been fucking up these momos since 711 AD when they invaded Portugal, Italy, and Spain. It is the Spanish, it is the Portuguese that found this country. Columbus was Italian, but to Spain and Portugal that paid for it. And now they're back into Spain. The invasion of these Africans, these Muslims, these Islamists are back in Spain, back in Europe. And by 2035, you best believe you're gonna have US troops with big ass motherfucking guns. Bow! Kicking down the door, waving the 4-4. Talk about Papa don't hit me no more. You best believe by 2035, you're gonna have US troops all over fucking Europe. We're not giving up shit. We're not giving up the bottom of fucking Africa. They lost Africa in 2020. That's why you hear of all the Christians being persecuted. Even by Nicki Minaj, who has the brain of a squirrel. Even Nicki Minaj has more knowledge than you do. Because you waste your fucking time watching too many sports, playing on fucking apps. Since 2020, they lost Africa. That's why you have all the invasions of the Muslims going into Christian villages and murdering and pillaging and destroying the Christians in Africa. Because they know nobody lives in the north. It's all desert. All the big populations are in the south. Right now, it's about 52% to 41%. For the first time in like 500 years, Muslims are the minority in Africa, the second biggest continent. The first biggest continent is Asia, where, you know, Russia is part of Asia. Look at that, look at that. Christians dominated before Islam. Christians shall dominate after Islam. Christians dominate today. Islam was created to contradict Christianity. Islam was created to contradict Rome. And guess what? Rome just switched up and went to America. They lie about Jesus Christ. They lie about Moses. They lie about Noah. They lie about Joseph. They lie about every single prophet and tell you that this is the new prophet. Momo. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. We're not having none of that, nigga. We're not having none of this garbage. We're gonna get hold up. Let me pause We're gonna talk about Ryan Garcia. We're gonna talk about Berlanga. We're gonna talk about Tyson Fury. But you know how my videos be. Hold up, we gotta play you something. We gotta play you something.
5 reasons why I am no longer a Muslim. Now I know that Muslims will explain these verses away for them to have a justification and they see things a different way. So if after what I have to say you genuinely still believe what you believe in, that's fine by me. This is
No, that's not fine by me.
I left Islam. One of the first reasons I ever questioned Islam is when somebody brought up the verse to me where it said that you can beat your wife. Now, me as a Muslim, I could have never believed that because in my head, Islam was perfect, peaceful, loving, amazing. So, in my opinion, in my worldview, this could have never been a thing, you know? So, finally, when I was brought up the verse, it was very clear that you are allowed to beat your wife. It's
beat
allowed.
That bitch.
You are allowed. Now, I don't care how you explain this verse away, saying that, if you do 5,000 push-ups and then do 15 jumping jacks and then go to court of law and then you can hit your wife. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it says you can hit your wife.
All these niggas is lie and steal. Lie and steal and steal and fabricate, contradict, lie and steal some more.
And so that was one of the first things that, raised my red flags for Islam. Second thing I found really interesting was that Muhammad was not a peacemaker. He was actually a warlord, which was completely different from the narrative that I used to believe in. My narrative that growing up was that Muhammad is a peaceful man. Islam is a religion of peace because Islam means peace. Therefore, it's a religion of peace. But then if you read the Quran, if you read the surah, if you read Surah 929, if you read Surah 7, 8, 9, there's so many verses where Muhammad gives clear, cutthroat instructions to go kill the disbelievers, to fight in the name of Allah and His cause, and if people are not listening to you, and to pay the jizya. Now, the best argument that Muslims come up with is
Allah can suck my dick.
That it was self-defense. But it doesn't work that way because self-defense is when somebody attacks you for no reason and you defend yourself.
Momo can suck my dick.
When you go and attack someone, and they fight.
This is a free country. We have free speech. These niggas hate free speech. That's why they have blasphemy laws. To have you not question anything. That's why they have apostasy laws. They tell you it's one Quran and then you find like 40 different Qurans on the internet. But if you say that, they will kill you. This is straight up communism, nigga.
Peacemaker. He was actually a warlord, which was completely different from the narrative that I used to believe in. My narrative that
over 40 million enslaved Africans and Europeans. From 711 to 1492, they took over all of Africa. They took over half of Europe. The problem is that most Americans and most Europeans have no knowledge of Islam, of history, of anything. These niggas are just wasting their fucking life on FanDuel and DraftKings and sports and stupid shit. When's the next event? Have you seen the next Avengers movie? Stupid shit. Get educated, dummy, before you end up getting Islamified, nigga.
Islam is a religion of peace because Islam means peace. Therefore, it's a religion of peace. But then if you read the Quran, if you read the surah, if you read Surah 929, if you read Surah 7, 8, 9, there's so many verses where Muhammad gives clear, cutthroat instructions to go kill the disbelievers, to fight in the name of Allah and His cause, and if people are not listening to you, and to pay the jizya. Now, the best argument that Muslims come up with is that it was self-defense. But it doesn't work that way because self-defense is when somebody attacks you for no reason and you defend yourself. But when you go and attack someone and they fight back and then you go, aha, they just fought me so I can hit them back and I can kill them. That's not self-defense. Remember, Islam wasn't a religion before Muhammad came into the picture. It wasn't. Like, whatever you want to say, historically, Islam wasn't a religion before Muhammad came into the picture. Then Muhammad came in, started telling people, hey, start believing in Islam. I'm giving you a choice. Believe in Islam. Whoever agreed. And whoever didn't agree, were like, no. But he's like, no, believe in Islam. Or if you don't want to believe in Islam, you have a choice. You can pay the jizya or my army will kill you. And so they're like, no, again, I want to live my life. I don't want to follow Islam. I don't care what you want me to do. I don't want to follow Islam. Okay, you don't want to follow Islam? Murder them, kill the infidels, kill the unbelievers. Anybody who doesn't believe in Allah, kill them. And so Muhammad was a warlord and not a peaceful one, much different from what Jesus was teaching. Jesus said, love your enemies, do not fight them, do not persecute them. But Muhammad was giving like orders with his army, killing non-believers left and right. Quran is not perfectly preserved. Now, growing up, and even the Muslims watching to this day, even people in the comment section will try to defend this, saying that Quran has been perfectly preserved from the beginning of time, untouched. Nothing has ever happened to it. There's only one Quran, etc., etc. Again, when you look deep into it, you start realizing, hold on a second. It's first of all, it's not perfectly been preserved. First of all, Muhammad never wrote the Quran. His believers, his companions did. And then as time went on, there was different Qurans. And then Uthman actually burned multiple Qurans and he compiled his version of the Quran and he kept one of them. He literally had two companions who were fighting between each other where they didn't want to give up their version of the Quran because Uthman was going to...
It's like one tyrant after another tyrant after another tyrant, a new Quran, another Quran, a different Quran. This is just fucking total... This is communism. I mean, anybody, you don't need to be a scholar to see right through this. You have to just have basic knowledge of history. You know what I mean? If you got a B plus in history in just a regular public school in America, you know this. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, Americans and Europeans have just been completely dumbfounded and retarded. They get their news from fucking Nico, Sneeko, and fucking Nick, and the stupid niggas and stupid bitches like Candace on the fucking internet. You know what I mean? They get their history lessons from fucking a guy named Sneeko. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Stupid niggas.
Burn them. So Uthman actually burned...
They're the first ones to burn Qurans. If a Quran came out, they didn't like it, oh, they burn that one, make another one. You know what I'm saying? But they'll tell you to your face that the Quran has been preserved. But you could buy like 40 different Qurans on the internet. Then they'll tell you, no, it's the dialect, it's the same, but it's the same Quran. But then you open it up and you got different words, different sentences, different surahs. Like, this is not the same Quran. My nigga, there's like 40 different Qurans. All these niggas do is lie. They lie about the Quran. They lie about their own history. They lie about Jesus. They lie about Moses. They lie about Jews. They lie about Christians. They lie about Hindus. Didn't you remember, like, just a year ago, you had the Indians had to back up the fucking Pakistanis that were trying to raid India and take over India? Didn't you hear about that? That was like a 7-day war. Like, these niggas are a problem, son. And anybody who sides with these niggas or sympathizes with these niggas is just brainwashed and fucking stupid.
Burned multiple Qurans and then he made one Quran, right? And then that was passed on from generation to generation. Now, even now, the Quran that you believe in is the standardized Quran. So that's why it's very similar from everybody. But there's still multiple different versions of the Quran. There's the harsh version, there's the wash version. There's almost, I think, 7 different versions of the Quran.
It's like 40.
Now, you can try and say, like, there's different qira'ats, there's different translations, etc., etc. That's not my problem, because even the Bible has different translations. But the problem is, you guys claim our books are corrupted because we have different translations, but you guys have the exact same issue. But when it comes to calling you guys out, you guys go say, well, it's just a different translation. Like, you know, there's not a difference. But if you look into it, there's words that are different. There's words that say he did it versus you did it versus the Prophet did it or Allah did it. There's different words, different sentences that created in the error that's in the language. Now, if you want to argue that contextually everything is all the same, then you can't say the Bible is corrupted and you have an issue with the Bible, because Bible, that's all it is. That's an account of every different person who wrote it down, and they wrote it from their own lenses. So contextually, everything is the same. Somebody might have given different details, but contextually...
The Bible is 80 books by over 40 different authors with continuity. It all matches up. The Quran is a book by, they say it's by Muhammad, but it's not by Muhammad. Then they say it's by Abu Bakr. Then it's by Uthman. Then it's by Umar. And you're like, what the hell is this? Oh, he got this message in a cave by himself, even though nobody told him that he was a prophet. It was a blind man. It was a blind man and his wife. When he came home, shaking and trembling, the first thing that he said when he came home from the cave was, "I think I'm demon possessed." This is in their hadith, in their Islamic books. Not my book. This is not an opinion. This is in their books. This is their official story. You just have to study this just by the top. Just skim the top of it. And you're like, yo, this just sound mad suspect. These niggas are brainwashed and violent and dangerous, let me tell you.
It's all the same. But again, that's another reason that drew a huge red flag to me, because the claim was Quran's perfect and has always been preserved and never been changed. That's not true. Another main reason that I left Islam, or I'm no longer a Muslim, is funny because it puts me at risk, which is that if you live Islam, you are to be killed. According to the Sharia law, according to the law of Islam, according to the Quran, if you are a Muslim and you leave your religion, you should be killed. You should be murdered. Now that goes to show that you actually don't have a free will. It's very easy to sit there and be like you have free will when you don't, because as any non-believer that's not a Muslim, like us as a Christian or any other religion, you can leave your religion because that's your choice. You can make the choice to say, if I don't choose Jesus,
because we have freedom and this shit is tyranny.
Today I can do that, and Christians are not gonna come kill me and persecute me because I decided to leave Christianity, because I have my own free will and I can make that choice. In Islam, however, you don't get that choice, which goes to show that you're brainwashed and you're submitted and you're put in there as a slave.
And the first 4 caliphs, meaning the first 4 presidents, the first 4 prime ministers of Islam, back in the year 700 something, right? The first 4 caliphs were assassinated by guess who? By Islam, by Muslims. They kill them each other, and when they're done killing each other, they go try to kill Jews. They go try to kill Christians. They go try to kill Africans. They go try to kill Indians. This is a death cult. Islam has been a massive problem since 711 AD. Way before 9/11, way before the weekly European terrorist attacks. You had 3 women get stabbed up just yesterday in Paris, France. You know what I mean? By an Islamist, right? You had, and there's no difference. You see, now they try to call you an Islamophobe, or that, oh, those are the radicals. They don't represent the regular Muslims. They're all the same. You got terrorists and terrorist supporters. All these niggas, the ones that are not committing atrocities, support the terrorists. You know what I mean? And in the masjid, they're talking mad shit about America, mad shit about Israel, mad shit about everybody that's not them. You know what I'm saying? These niggas are all the same. They're all the same. They're all liars. When they tell you, oh no, I'm a moderate, peaceful Muslim, that's not me. They're lying to you. Them niggas are sending like $300 donations to fucking terrorist organizations behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, we just want to have a masjid. It's just another religion. These niggas are all liars and schemers. Do not trust none of these niggas. I want them all deported. Yes, all of them. The children, the woman, the cat, the rat, the bat, the dog, everything associated with these niggas gotta go.
If you live Islam, you will die. Therefore, sit down, obey Islam, and do whatever you're told. You're not even allowed to question Islam. You can ask questions like, you don't know this information, that information, but you can't come around and say, hey, I don't think morally this thing is right. If you dare question that, again, you'll get backlash from Muslims and Islam in general, because you are not allowed to question Islam. You need to give full submission without any doubts in your heart, and you need to be a Muslim forever. In no way, shape, or form you're ever allowed to live Islam. And if you do,
this is just like communism, just more violent and with more poverty.
Live Islam, you will be unalive. Last but not least, the scientific miracles are all fake. Again, I used to believe Islam has so much pure evidence that it is true, that it has all the scientific.
Momo did not split the moon. He just split the. Let me stop. 6-year-olds.
Evidence to back it up. So why would anybody believe in any other religion when there's proof and scientific miracles in the Quran?
Nigga had like 1,000 sex slaves.
That came 100% true. I would believe these things. So one of them was like Muhammad went up and he cut the moon in half, and then everybody saw that or something like that. Again, I honestly I forgot the story, but Muhammad went up and he cut the moon in half.
He was flying on a donkey. He flew on a donkey and he went to go see Moses. Then he went to go see Jesus and he told them that they're Muslims. This is the most crazy, and the thing is that these people really believe these stories and will blow themselves up over these stories. These niggas need to all be deported and banned. They are a massive, massive problem since 7/11 AD.
That was the scientific miracle. And astronauts went up, and then they saw, at first there was like lines on the moon. Everybody's like blowing this up all over the internet. Okay, proof for Islam. See, there's a cut in the moon because Muhammad cut the moon in half and stuff like that. A while go by, you do some research, you find out there's a bunch of cuts and dusts everywhere in the moon. There's no evidence that the moon was cut in half. So that scientific miracle is fake. There's another verse somewhere in the Quran, and I'm gonna put it up here, so don't worry about it. But it says something along the lines of like your kids come from the man's bones or the man's brain, something like that, which is not how a baby comes. Like baby comes from the sperm and the egg meeting, right? But there's a scientific error where they say like your sperm comes from the bone or something, or like the man
from the back of your ribs and your backbone. No, nigga, that shit comes from from your testicles, nigga. You stupid fucking momo.
Brain provides, and that's how the baby like is consummated and stuff like that. So again, another error.
Your fucking sperm don't come from your ribs, nigga. Go read it. It's in the Quran. It tells you the shit comes from the back of your ribs. These are some retarded niggas, son. The shit is not funny though. This is mad serious since 7/11 AD. I keep bringing that up because once you study just the basics of Islam, you realize that this shit has been a problem since 7/11 AD when they went through all of Africa, enslaved all of Africa. The slavery began with these niggas. Where do you think the conquistadors bought their slaves from? From Arabs. Why did they come to America? To escape fucking invasion. After they got back their lands, they were like, yo, we need some more land, son. You know what I mean? The Crusades, the whole colonization of America began because of fighting back against these niggas.
The Quran about scientific miracles. So they claimed to have thousands of
And it is the Christians that eventually abolished slavery. It is America that abolished slavery. And then went to war again against the fucking Southerners, the Democrats.
Scientific miracles in the Quran?
All the slave owners in the South that owned the slaves that refused to listen to Abraham Lincoln were all Democrats. But, niggas just don't know any type of history whatsoever. They get their news from Sneeko and Nick. This is just ridiculous.
They didn't have any. So for all of these multiple different reasons, I decided from my own logical rationale that all of these things, they don't add up. The logic doesn't add up. The morality doesn't add up. The peace and violence they claim, like self-defense they claim, it doesn't add up. For all of these reasons, I just decided I'm out.
Niggas in like the middle of fucking Portugal and Spain that haven't seen a momo in their whole fucking life talking about self-defense for Allah. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. It took like 800 years of fighting these niggas to get them out of there. They had to send down crusade after crusade after crusade after crusade. That's why the crusades began. Because these niggas were trying to Islamify all of Europe, and they're trying to Islamify Europe again. That's why every 10 years or so we have to go over there and rock these niggas. This shit ain't never gonna end. This shit didn't start with George W. Bush. It didn't start with 9/11. We've been having these problems with these people forever. Since 7/11 AD. This video is long enough. Get that shit through your fucking skull. All these niggas are fucking demons. Don't ever support anybody who supports Islam. All these niggas, the politicians support them to get fake ass votes. Because they know if only citizens vote in Canada, if only citizens vote in America or in Europe or in any Western country, Democrats and the left will never win any election. The only way that they win elections in New York City and California and these blue hellholes is because they subsidize the votes with fake ass immigrants. A big percentage of them are Indians and fucking Muslims. I don't give a fuck about Indians either, you know what I mean? But Indians ain't trying to kill you, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about Indians and Jews and none of these other niggas, you know what I'm saying? But they're not trying to kill you. It's the Muslims that are trying to kill you. You know what I mean? This video is long enough. You need to educate yourself, son. We're going to talk about Ryan Garcia in the next video. Peace.